Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Kim with K Montes Art Studio, and I finally finished those coasters that I worked on months ago. I was on a hunt for sealer. That's the real reason why I didn't finish it. I ended up having this sealer at home. It's a latex satin varnish and it works really well so far. What I used previously was the Mod Podge Food Safe Sealer, and that one takes a lot of time to heal or to cure, and it just wasn't something that I wanted to use for the coasters. So this particular Trinket tray was purchased at Target. The brand is U brand, so the letter U brand, and it's intended for pencils, pens, paper clips, anything you want to put that's tiny in that little small area. And the black portion is intended to clip on art, inspiration, memories. It comes with a couple of magnets, and I felt this would be perfect for what I wanted to work on. So I've been in the mode to paint things in a very colorful manner, almost folk art style, and this was something that I've been having in my studio for a very long time, and I finally got a chance to work on it. So the paint that I'm using is the acrylic gouache by Holbein Works, and by far my favorite type of paint. I've worked on several pieces with this type of paint. It goes so far. I really enjoy the way just the way that it spreads, the way that you can work with it straight out of the tube. If you want to add water and make it watery, like watercolor, it works fantastic. I also enjoy the fact that it doesn't re-wet like traditional wash. So there's Braxton taking up space in my room, and he's enjoying his time. The inspiration for this particular drawing was more so of a free flow. I also drew inspiration from a previous wood panel circular thing that I did, and I honestly just was having fun. There's nothing real inspirational about this. It's just cute and fun. I've been a bit in a rut with video editing. So I created this video so long ago. It's August 11th, and I'm finally getting to create some of my videos. I don't know how you all feel if you edit videos, or if you're a content creator in any way. It's easy to record. It's so hard to finally get on the computer and edit things. So I'm pretty backed up on all my content. I haven't posted on Instagram in months, and I think it's just the summer. Honestly, the summer has been pretty wild, to say the least. So to give you some updates, so many things have happened in the last 3 months. I went on vacation in July. I had a very fast July. I worked on a huge project with my nonprofit to immediately jump into another huge project, and then go on vacation, of course. So the vacation came after the two huge projects, and I had very little time to create art. And it's like a good and bad thing, because I was really busy with my nonprofit, and that's part of my income. So I had to get that done. And then after coming back from vacation, I was just enjoying relaxing. I worked so hard this past 2 months. So June was a little bit wild. July was what it was. And then came August. And I just been sort of relaxing these past 2 weeks. And I'm okay with that. I think prepping for September and the school year to come is always intense on its own. So it is what it is. I will get back to content creation and artwork soon. I do have a plan for some of my artwork to basically create a body of work is what I'm aiming towards. A lot of the things are starting to come together. I think I just need to crank out way more stuff. And also good news, sneak peek to future videos. I moved into a different office. Yes, I'm no longer in that tiny little microscopic office that you see me working in. I'm so happy. I'm still in the process of moving things around, getting things organized. So that's probably going to come out next month, that video. But it feels great. It feels so great to have more space. I think I'm more excited to be able to move around and have multiple pieces going on at the same time, because that is something that's helped me in the past to become more creative, is having one piece going at the same time as other pieces, because the way that works for me, and I took this advice from actually one of my professors in undergrad, is that you don't get stale. And when you're working on multiple pieces at the same time, you kind of actually get more inspiration to go back to that piece and finish it. So I have been working one piecemeal type of art way in a while. I usually do have multiple things going on at the same time, but it's hard to have them all laid out when you are kind of stuck. You know what I mean? And if you've seen my videos in the past, you know what I mean by stuck, because there's very little space in that previous room. So here I am painting this trinket tray, and I'm sure you're wondering why the heck did I paint it and then cover it all with another layer of paint. So that was a glazing technique that I used, and it helped to create a layer and avoid the transparency of the wood. So that was my idea behind it. It did work. I wish I would have done an initial layer actually before painting all the flowers and leaves on there, but creating the inverse effect, which is what I did, was paint all the leaves, all the flowers, and then do the thin layer of glazing. Worked pretty interestingly. I would recommend doing the thin layer of glaze, then going in with the second layer, and then trying again with another layer of glaze, then going back. So I would actually want to do this twice to give it a better pop of color. But because the Holbein is actually pretty opaque, it does a good job at concealing the wood pigment underneath. So at this point in the trinket tray, I finished painting the initial layer, and look at how cute my dog is. Then I pull out my Posca pens. At that very second, I realized I made a mistake, but I had to keep going. And what I should have did was let the Posca pen dry, but I kept on elaborating on it, and I didn't like it at that point. But, you know, I let it dry, finally, moved on, and created different effects. You'll see that I eventually come back to the gouache and have to touch up some areas, but the final result is absolutely amazing. Also, check out this technique that I'm using here. I didn't use a single paint palette. I used all the paint straight out of the tube. I even used the top of my tortellini or whatever that ice cream is called, the lid. I used the top of that. The reason for that is because the gouache paint dries so fast that I didn't want to waste any paint. So I used it just takes a little bit to go a long way, and you can even see on the top of the ice cream tub that there was still a lot of that teal blue paint, and I didn't use it all. So I didn't want to waste, especially because this paint is expensive for those little tubes. If you know, you know. But it worked. I used whatever I could out of the tube, and I even poured it into the lid, which I found convenient to have it be out of that lid instead of on the paint palette. If I were to be working on something larger, I would definitely use a paint palette, but this was so small that it wasn't worth pouring out so much paint. In addition to me needing like a little speck, and it dries fast, and you know, all the things. But another technique that I used was pulling out the end point of the Posca pen and capturing just a little bit of the paint on the brush to use it for smaller areas, especially where the areas sort of bend and the flowers go up along the wall. So I wanted to talk briefly about where I'm going with my art. A lot of my art has been practice. I have been discovering. I have been creating things that may not go together with each other as a collection. And I've been doing that for the past 2 years. I've been trying to discover my style, understand the things that I love to do, really get my passions down packed. And I think it's been the most helpful thing that I've done in a long time. So for those artists that are hoping to get there and just started art 2 years ago, it takes a lot of time. It really does. There are very few people that have the ability and skill to get there in just 2 years. I've been doing this for 10 years and still find new ways of doing things all the time. And you kind of have to accept those new ways and allow yourself to continue to grow. So with my new body of work, I'm pushing myself to create things in a much more fine art way than a craft way. A lot of the things I've been doing these past 2 years, and I've been really honing down on getting better at my brush strokes, getting better at my paint quality techniques, and it really takes a lot of time. There's some pieces that come out great, there's some pieces that are absolute garbage, and that's all part of the process. You have to be able to push yourself to create bad work, good work, mediocre work, work that is slightly, just practice. So having all those stages will only make you better. And that's where I'm at now. I think I have fully understood all the mediums that I like to work with. I fully understand the subjects that I like to work with for now, because that can change again, and I'm okay with that. And I think now that I have a grasp on that, I'm going to push it and create a large body of work in the hopes that it will make it to a gallery and make it into someone's home. Because what I've been doing lately is not studying art, but more so studying galleries, studying collectors, studying the things that make it into galleries and why do they make it into galleries? Why is it that that collector purchased that art? Because at the end of the day, that's who's your audience. The collector, the gallery owner. If you're not going in the traditional route, you can observe the people that look at your page on Instagram or who is buying what. Like certain YouTubers sell particular things. Is that what you want to sell, or what do you buy? Start to study those type of things. That's what I've been really focusing on. And a lot of the people that I want my clients to be are people that are in residential design, people that work for commercial buildings. I want my audience to be that particular audience, so I know the type of work that they're looking for, and that's what I'm hoping to accomplish. So understanding your audience, understanding what you like to do and how you want to get there is a way to create a collection of work. So I hope you enjoyed this paint and chat with me. Here's the final results. I really enjoyed it. It's been holding up for the past couple months now. And let me know what you think in the comments below. Here's the view with pens. And here's the view with no pens. I love it. It's very colorful. It's very bright. Fun. Oh, here's a sneak peek of a painting that I'm working on that you can see in a previous video, a still life part 1 and 2, and 3 and 4 should be coming soon. So thanks for watching. As always, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.